Coming off that road trip, what are some of the positives you can take away, and what are some of the areas the group wants to improve upon heading on a big home stretch here?
I think there's a lot to work on today. I think that's what we did. We got a good practice in, worked on some of the details, especially defensively, that really showed the last couple games on the road trip. And positives are we got a good homestand here to try and collect points, and it starts with a good game tomorrow night.
5-on-5, where are you guys seeing some areas maybe to improve upon in terms of offense and defense? I know you just touched on a little bit defensively, but maybe the offensive side.
I think the defense is going to lead the offense, and I think that the better we can track and stay above our opponents, the more offense we're going to create.
Power play has been clicking too. What's been working for that area and for you guys especially?
Just quick movement and attack mentality, which we can bring a little bit to our 5-on-5 game, and making sure that when there's a chance to an opportunity to attack, we're taking advantage of it.
Mentally, how do you guys stay above kind of the stretch that you've been on so far and get out of the rut?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, and you're going to have ups and downs. Sometimes, you need to work your way out of the downs, and that's where we're at right now. We have a really good opportunity in homestand to get it back on track, and I think this room all believes that we can do that.
How do you avoid all the noise? I mean, it's kind of similar to that, JT, but how do you avoid all the noise out there and stuff? I mean, the sky is falling type of thing. I mean, is it kind of easy to do that? Just kind of brush it away, or?
Yeah, it's pretty easy if you don't read it and you don't look for it. I worry about what's in this room. I'm not on Twitter or wherever looking for stuff. I'm worried about what my teammates are saying and the conversations that we're having.
Just the way he can push the pace, the speed up the middle, how he drives in net. He's got a good stick on the forecheck, so he can help get some pucks back. But I think the biggest thing is just pushing the pace up the middle, which is always fun to play with.
Is hockey IQ also something that stands out? He seems, for not having a ton of experience.
I think for a young kid, he's asking a lot of questions. He wants to know different things about different situations, and very, very curious, whether it's in practice or on the bench. So I know we got put together maybe halfway through the LA game. We had a couple looks, and then a couple looks in the first period last game too. So just keep building off it. Obviously looks like we might have Cat with us too. So use his strengths to our game and try to win our shifts.
Now you're back home 5 of the next 6 years. I mean, how important is it to just take advantage of this and really kind of get back on track?
We got to be a good home ice team here, and as tough as things look, and they've been the last 3 games. I mean, you look at the standings. We're obviously towards the bottom, but we put any type of streak together. We can creep right back into a playoff situation or a playoff spot. I think from what I saw yesterday, I think we were 3 points out, and that might have changed last night. I'm not sure, but put a little streak together, be good on home ice. Obviously we're 18 games in, so there's a lot of hockey left, and as much as you want to be in that playoff situation, just stay in the present moment, worry about the next situation, next game, and try to get ourselves going here.
Patrick, where do you think it's going wrong right now? I mean, if you had to point to something, I mean, where would you start right now?
It's tough. I mean, you get 2 points in Pittsburgh, you're happy about it. It looks like we're going to win the game in Anaheim, and things kind of fall apart there in the third. Power play has been really good for us, which has been a big positive. But probably just 5-on-5 production. As much as we want to look to create offense and play offense, we still want to play within the team structure and do the right things within that. So hopefully we can start producing within that structure.
I mean, you've been through it a lot, been through everything basically. How do you just avoid all the noise on social media and or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how do you guys keep that out of the room or whatever?
I mean, to be honest, I think some guys might be on a little bit more than others. I don't have an Instagram, or I'm not really on my Twitter much or anything like that. So I think I still call it Twitter, right? It's a different name now, but just kind of ignore the noise, and at the same time, I think in here you have to have some type of determination and excitement to, whether it's playing in front of our crowd tomorrow or something to get us going, something to get us excited about, playing the game and being excited about the stretch we have ahead of us. So, like you said, 5-6 at home. That's obviously an advantage for us. I mean, one of the reasons I came back here was just the atmosphere at the LCA and the excitement of playing here in this building and the fan support. So, got to use that to our advantage.
When you talk about producing the field structure, what does it take to do that in this particular system? What does that look like when it's going really well?
I think when we're doing things right, you can see things start to create for us. So, sometimes you, as a player, you try to anticipate or try to, whether you see maybe a loose puck or a 50-50 here and you get on the wrong side of things and then all of a sudden, the puck doesn't bounce the right way and it can create a shift in your end or chances for the other team. Sometimes just being on the right side of the puck, making sure you're doing the right things in those situations, and you'll end up with the puck even more, right? So, and I think we have some players in here, when the puck's on their stick and the more we have the puck, then that's where you see things start to create.
Talbot's been in the right spot. What have you seen from him? And to play well at his age, right? Like he's gotten better. He had the year last year with the All-Star game. What do you thought?
Yeah, he's been awesome for us. Every game. I mean, he's been incredible. I feel like a lot of the games we won have been, because of our goaltender and them having a good game. But him coming in, you can tell he's a hard worker off the ice. Tries hard in practice. Wants to stop pucks in practice. Seems to enjoy the game too. So he's been awesome for us.
What have you seen in Marco that you like him with Patrick and Alex?
First of all, Marco's playing very well. He's assertive in his game, and there's times when he's playing with pace, he can drive, and I think that can help Patty. And you saw in practice today, we put the brinket there too, especially on home ice, maybe with some favorable matchups, but he can transport pucks out of his zone. He'll get middle lane drive, he'll help on the forecheck. There is a purpose with that line with putting Marco there.
Is this hockey IQ part of, what's made him so good at such a young age already? Yeah.
Absolutely. He's still learning, which is a positive. You talk about our DNA of our team and, road trip, many things into it, but the last couple of games we have a ton of odd man rushes, which is something we haven't done all year. And even I put him on a shift with Patty, and the first thing he does is toe drag in the slot, which gives up a 4-on-2 the other way. So I do think there's going to be some maturing with him, but I want to give that line a start. I want to give that line a little bit of a look. And a little bit is a compliment to Marco, if that makes sense.
You had talked in Pittsburgh about how he was a guy who could kind of push through without the results coming, but now that he's gotten a couple, I imagine that's a big confidence.
Absolutely. You were hoping it was going to come because he did have looks, but he was doing so many things well and correctly. I'm glad it started to go in the back of the net, and there could be more there. So, again, playing well, helping our group, and a purpose with him centering Kane.
Putting Tarasenko with Larkin and Raymond, I mean, how important is it just to get Tarasenko going here?
Yeah, again, I've been fairly happy with Vlad, his play of late. Again, we knew we were going to have a fluid 6, a fluid 9. It's a makeup. Sometimes it feels like a negative. I think sometimes it's a positive. We do have offensive guys. We have guys that can complement guys. We have guys that can finish. So I just think it's more of spreading our lineup out a little bit. Now the Cat, Larkin, Raymond line have been a positive for a while. Underlying numbers are good. They do get a little bit of a habit of trading some chances when they're not playing at the top of their game, but at times they've looked like a top line in this league. But I think it's more about just spreading out our depth a little bit, and I think Vlad can hopefully be productive with those two up in that line.
Derek, how important is this stretch coming up for you guys? 5 out of 6 at home, and just try to get some traction
I
going.
think it's all important. Obviously, we're sitting here under 500. You go on a road trip, and your 4-game road trip. Your kind of underlying unwritten rule is you want as many points as games, which is 4. But you win the front end of the road trip, and you're up 3-2 in the third period on the second end. Now you're hoping for probably 4, 5, 6 points. And it didn't happen, and then we still had some opportunity on Sunday. So, of course, it's important right now. We do have 5 and 6. We're a game under 500 at home. We have to be better at home. We've been better at home. And I guess maybe the one positive is, with us battling through some things, the division, I think more than half the teams, 5 teams are under 500 in our division. And if not half or more than half of the teams in the entire conference are 500 or I believe under 500. It's not right, and that's probably more big picture, but luckily it hasn't got away from us, if that makes sense.
You're going back to Alex Lyon tomorrow?
Yep, Alex will be back in that tomorrow.
During a difficult stretch like this, where's the balance between keeping an eye on the sort of bigger picture with the standings versus just focusing on the next game?
That's a good question, because it's human nature. Like, I honestly, and this is human nature, I don't look at standings a lot. One, because it takes your emotions high or low. But I literally peaked this morning, and it actually became a positive for me, because just what I said, 5 teams in our division are under 500. I believe 8 teams are under 500, 9 or 500 in the entire conference. So it's not going anywhere, but it's about the moment, the present, and what's a little frustrating is we've had signs of some quality play, but we need to be more consistent with it, and we got to keep fighting to get there. We have an opportunity tomorrow night against a team that we've beaten once already this year, a team that's in a similar situation as us.
Both Cam and Alex, both got 2 goalies there. They both had kind of journeyman type careers, one a little bit more NHL level,
Yeah.
one more. And we're at a time in the league where save percentage is down. Like you look,
Yeah.
just talking to Cam about it, where he's had a lot of experiences. Do you think that plays into both of them being able to adjust in their careers the way that they've had success this year, when a lot of guys at that position across the league haven't had success?
That's a great question. One, I think speaks volumes of their play so far this year. Unfortunately, both gave up some goals that hurt, our overall momentum on the weekend. I think there's some of that. I think they're both extremely competitive. And I think when we're playing well in front of them, even despite some volume, we're giving them reasonable looks. I just alluded to the unfortunate odd man situation where it was a DNA of us. We just didn't give up odd man, so it was a conscious effort of us. And then on those last 2 games of that road trip, we get 12 and 10, and it hurt us, and it makes it hard on them. So I probably would give them a credit of that's a deep question. The fact of where save percentages have gone and how they're saying, but I think it's more those guys playing at a pretty good level.
And then also, you know the position, you know this role, and I know this is obviously Alex's job, Westland's job to focus on more than the goalie coach, but when it comes to both of them, and it comes to kind of, for lack of a better word, stylistically, they both seem to, they're both a little bit older, they both neither have been robotic. Like, that seems to be, that's fair to call that a benefit, right? Like,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, they're pros. Yeah. If you, and again, you see the product on the ice. I see the product every day, and I think it's probably a credit to them of succeeding in this league right now because of what they do off the ice. Probably some mental fortitude there. It's a huge positive. Positive for our team.
And the last one on that, just with, sorry, the bad goal's going to happen every once in a while, right? Like, that's something where you know it's going to happen. How do you, as a coach, account for that and not let it, like, what's the mechanism in your brain?
Yeah,
it's going to happen every once
we
in a
actually
while.
talk about it. Fortunately, this year, we haven't given up many bad goals. So it hasn't been a teaching point where you might have to snap at the group on the bench or talk about 2 periods. Unfortunately, this weekend in Anaheim, and then obviously the second goal in San Jose, where we were in a pretty good spot, up 2-1, and we had some chances to extend that lead. You always want our guys to respond. So I think you talk about changing momentum and pressure points all the time, and of course a bad goal is one of those. But again, we haven't had many of them this year for that experience, but that's real, and that's something we do talk about.
I know Talbot's not coming off his best game, but formations selections coming up.
Yeah.
If you look at save percentage, he's got the highest among Canadian goalies. I know you're an American.
I'm American. We're also good friends with John Cooper. And always to succeed in some way. It's funny, we actually talked about that in the room about a week ago. Same thing. Like, why not Towns? Save percentage is there. When he plays at a high level, he plays at a high level. But I think the one guarantee he would give that group is you know what you're getting. And again, I can't speak. I mean, that group and that management team and Team Canada, they're living this 24 hours a day. You know, they'll do their due diligence. But I'm with you. I don't see why he would not be in that mix. I mean, last year at this time he was an all-star too. There's something about when he gets his game in order and you know what you're getting, and if you can play the right way in front of him, it's going to be pretty consistent.
You say in the room, you just mean the coach's room.
In the coach's room, correct. Just we were literally had the same conversation. Why not, Cam? That's a credit to the way he's playing right now.
It's obviously a smaller tournament, but do you get the sense that guys are going to treat it like a full best on best?
This is, just being at World Championships last year, being around even Mike and Heinze around the staff, kind of being in some of those talks. This is, I think it being taken away from everyone for so long, it's on everyone's mind. It's in our room a little bit. Now, obviously, guys are in the moment and dealing with it, but this is exciting for a lot of guys.
Well, because a little different situation with Kane, but with, the Americans have so many good forwards, but a guy like that with his pedigree, I mean...
Of course they would take a look at him, just because of that pedigree, what he's doing on the power play. I mean, we're talking about sitting here under 500, we're third in the league on the power play, he's part of it. And I just think the type of respect a player like that deserves, for sure they'll be considering it.
Thank you.